Can I have everybody's attention?
I'm looking for the guys who murdered my wife.
With Upgrade, I knew there was a guy that gets paralyzed and then gets a piece of tech put into his body named STEM, which allows it to connect to his neural pathways so he can move his body again. What I didn't know is how much of a sci-fi this was. People with tech infused into their flesh, remote control cars, and at the heart of this, a mechanic who's hands-on, old school, living in both worlds, which is part of his charm. Logan Marshall-Green plays Great Trace in this, and he's pretty amazing. So let's review Upgrade. His relationship with Melanie Vallejo, who plays his wife Asha, was very well done, to the point where you accepted it as his motivation and his heartbreak. Even his mother helping him when he was disabled was a great way of grounding this movie with all its fancy technology. So as I said, bad shit happens to him and this girl. These four guys in a rough neighborhood just off her and paralyze him. His creepy odd client that he worked for and restored a classic car for, he's a big computer tech guy, so he offers him STEM, which is the chip that it gives him the ability to walk again.
Can anybody else hear you?
No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newground.
He starts to hear STEM talking to him and giving him advice, which leads to him investigating the incident and tracking down the guys who did it. The fight scenes in this are amazing. They're brutal and violent, but they're also hilarious.
Please don't get up. Please don't get up. Please. Stay down, man. Just... Stem, he's got a knife! Stem!
I can see that. We have
Just stab him!
There's a detective played by Gabriel who I really liked in this, despite her character being a little annoying. Like, why does she have to keep bothering our hero, help him track down the guys? I guess she's just doing her job, and she does have a sympathetic heart, which is nice and lends really well to the ending, which I enjoyed.
If you are involved in this somehow, then you need to let me know.
Well, I was in the area, detective.
Gray and STEM continue to learn about each other and their abilities. It's kind of cool having the internet in your head and being able to access everything, but this movie does address the downside to it. At some point you start to see STEM as a danger and see what he's capable of. I won't spoil the ending because you really should check it out. There is some solid world building and it does lend itself to a sequel, but it's a standalone movie on its own, which is how it should be done. Recently in August, Jason Blum of Blumhouse Productions said that there was plans for a potential sequel. I'd be down for that. This movie could go in some interesting directions. Hell, I'm still waiting for a sequel for Ex Machina. I think that has some interesting direction to go for. And, you know, Alicia Vikander.
To really love a woman.
Box office numbers weren't crazy. It was made between 3 to 5 million and it brought in about 14 million, so it was more of a streaming service kind of movie, but it was released in some theaters. As business models go now, that's how they build these little franchises. They start out with a basic one and see how much profit it's going to earn, and then try and build on that, and if it does, it gets greenlit for more and more until, you know, they write a terrible sequel and it all gets tanked. And it kind of insults the original at that point.
Let me show you how it's done. Oh, I didn't forget about you.
The CGI is very impressive on this budget. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it's not so bad that it takes you out of the movie at all. So why am I seeing movies like Transformers 5 where the CGI looks so off but the money's behind it? In the end, this was a decent revenge flick that I really enjoyed, and there's been a lot more of those lately. Remember the 90s with Steven Seagal? Almost all his movies were revenge flicks, and there's gonna be more. You can take that to the bank. Keep an eye out for Logan Marshall-Green. I mean, this guy's gonna be in a big movie soon, and everybody's gonna get blown away by him because I think he's really good. As always, thanks for watching.
A lot more when I get in that office. I can take that to the bank.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.